Just when companies like Tesla and BYD were investing billions of dollars in the electric vehicle race, Honda made a surprising move. Instead of simply following the trend, Honda introduced a new engine that has caught the attention of the global automobile market. This development has sparked an important question. Has Honda created something powerful enough to challenge battery-powered vehicles? Could this innovation change the future of electric cars? This engine is far from ordinary. It represents a new kind of hybrid technology that combines the power of petrol engines with the efficiency usually associated with electric vehicles. Drivers don't need to worry about finding charging stations or dealing with battery limitations. Instead, they get a smooth driving experience, lower running costs, and impressive mileage. Because of this innovation, many people are wondering whether companies leading the EV revolution should be concerned. Could Tesla and BYD face new competition from Honda's approach? In this discussion, we'll break down how Honda's new engine works, what its real purpose is, and how it could potentially disrupt the electric vehicle industry in the future. While the world was racing toward electric vehicles, with nearly every major automaker trying to prove that the future belonged to EVs, Honda took a different path. Companies such as Tesla, BYD, Hyundai, and MG were investing heavily in battery development, charging infrastructure, and extending vehicle range. However, several practical challenges still remained. Charging can be inconvenient, batteries are expensive, and electric vehicle range often decreases in cold weather. Long journeys may require frequent stops to recharge, which can be frustrating for many drivers. Although the excitement around EVs was growing rapidly, the reality was that many parts of the world were not fully ready for a complete shift to electric vehicles. In several countries, charging stations are limited, electricity costs are high, and power outages can occur frequently. Recognizing these challenges, Honda made a strategic decision that shifted the conversation. The company didn't just notice the weaknesses of EVs, it studied them carefully. Honda understood that many people like the idea of electric cars, but don't want to deal with the inconveniences that often come with them. Instead of declaring EVs as the only future, Honda emphasized something different. The future of mobility should fit naturally into people's everyday lives. With this philosophy, Honda focused heavily on hybrid technology. A hybrid system combines two sources of power, a petrol engine and an electric motor. This means drivers can enjoy the efficiency of electric driving without worrying about charging or battery limitations. You simply drive the car like a regular vehicle while still benefiting from improved fuel efficiency. Honda realized that many of the biggest concerns about EVs revolve around expensive batteries, long charging times, reduced performance in cold temperatures, and rising electricity costs. Because of this, the company believes hybrid technology could be a practical bridge between traditional petrol cars and fully electric vehicles. Honda's confidence is supported by its strong position in the global automobile market. Today, Honda remains one of the most trusted and well-known automotive companies in the world. According to data from 2023 to 2024, Honda sold roughly 3.8 to 4 million vehicles globally. In the United States alone, the company sold over 1 million vehicles. Honda cars and motorcycles consistently appear on bestseller lists across many markets, including India, Japan, Thailand, and Indonesia. These numbers show that consumers still value reliability, practicality, and efficiency, qualities that petrol and hybrid vehicles continue to provide. Honda's perspective comes from decades of experience in the automotive industry. While many companies focused primarily on battery technology, Honda focused on solving real-world problems faced by everyday drivers. For example, in many cities, people cannot install home chargers because they don't have dedicated parking spaces. In other areas, electricity costs are high. In colder climates, electric vehicles can lose a significant portion of their driving range. Honda believes that most drivers simply want a car that is affordable, comfortable to drive, and fuel efficient. According to the company, hybrid vehicles can deliver exactly that balance. Over the past decade, Honda has steadily improved its hybrid technology. Vehicles such as the Honda City Hybrid, Honda Accord Hybrid, and CR-V Hybrid have demonstrated that drivers can experience smooth, electric-like performance even without plugging the car in for charging. Fuel efficiency has also been impressive. In India, the Honda City Hybrid can deliver around 27 to 28 kilometers per liter, while in the United States, the Accord Hybrid offers strong performance combined with excellent efficiency. Honda achieved these results by carefully analyzing the limitations of electric vehicles and designing a system that addresses them. The company's new hybrid engine is not simply a traditional engine paired with a battery. It is an advanced, smart system that automatically decides when to use petrol power and when to rely on the electric motor. In simple terms, it's almost like having two drivers working together inside the car, one managing the petrol engine and the other controlling the electric motor to deliver the smoothest, most efficient, and most powerful driving experience possible. To truly understand how this works, it's important to look at what a hybrid engine actually does and how the petrol engine and electric motor work together to support each other. First, it's important to understand that this system is built around three main components: a petrol engine, an electric motor, and a small battery pack. Unlike fully electric vehicles, it does not rely on a large and expensive battery. Instead, the battery in this system is relatively small and charges automatically while the car is being driven. This means drivers don't have to search for charging stations, which is one of the biggest advantages of this technology. Now let's look at how the system actually works. When the car is moving at low speeds, such as in city traffic, at traffic signals, or on crowded roads, the electric motor mainly powers the vehicle. During this time, the petrol engine either remains off or works quietly in the background to recharge the battery. The benefit of this setup is that fuel consumption is greatly reduced, and the car operates much more quietly, making the driving experience smoother and more comfortable. Now imagine you are driving on a highway and need to accelerate quickly or overtake another vehicle. In this situation, the petrol engine automatically activates. The engine provides additional power, while the electric motor also assists in acceleration. This teamwork between the two systems allows the car to gain speed easily without making the driver feel any lack of power. You could think of this as a dual power boost, where both energy sources work together for better performance. In simple terms, the petrol engine and electric motor together perform the same role that an electric vehicle tries to handle with only its battery, but without the stress of charging. Another interesting feature comes into play whenever the driver presses the brakes or when the car slows down. At that moment, the electric motor switches roles and starts acting as a generator. Instead of wasting the energy produced during braking, the system converts it into electricity and stores it in the battery. This process is known as regenerative braking. Through regenerative braking, the battery gets charged without any additional cost or effort. In other words, the car keeps charging itself while being driven. Although this feature also exists in electric vehicles, it becomes even more useful in hybrid cars because the petrol engine can also help recharge the battery when needed. Honda's eHEV hybrid system is particularly unique. In this setup, the petrol engine often works as a generator rather than directly driving the wheels. It produces electricity that powers the electric motor, which then moves the car. Because of this, the driving experience feels very similar to an electric vehicle: smooth, quiet, and responsive, while still having the support of a petrol engine whenever extra power is required. Sometimes the car can even run entirely in electric mode. During this phase, the petrol engine stays off and the battery powers the motor. This helps save even more fuel. If the battery level drops, the petrol engine automatically starts and recharges it. All of this happens seamlessly without the driver needing to do anything. Perhaps the most attractive feature of this system is that it completely removes charging anxiety. Many electric vehicle owners constantly worry about their battery level, whether they will find a charging station, how long charging will take, or if the battery will last until they reach their destination. Honda's hybrid system eliminates these concerns. If the petrol runs out, you can simply refill the tank in about 5 minutes, and the system continues to recharge the battery automatically while driving. Because of this design, the system is extremely practical for long journeys. Whether you're driving through busy city roads or traveling across mountains, whether the weather is hot or cold, and whether the battery is partially charged or full, the car keeps running smoothly without requiring long stops. Now, let's talk about the biggest concern facing the electric vehicle industry today. One of the main reasons why millions of people around the world still hesitate to buy an EV. There are 3 major weaknesses that often hold people back from switching to electric cars. Interestingly, Honda's new hybrid engine has been designed to address each of these challenges. The first and most obvious issue is charging time. Electric vehicles may look modern and advanced, but when it comes to charging, they still face practical limitations. Imagine you are in a hurry and your car's battery runs out. Even with a fast charger, you may need to wait 1 to 2 hours to recharge enough power to continue your journey. If only a slow charger is available, the process can take an entire night. Now think about it. Who would want to spend that much time charging their car regularly? This is where Honda's hybrid engine offers a major advantage. With this system, there is no need to worry about charging at all. You don't have to install a charging point at home, and you don't need to search for charging stations. The car charges its own battery automatically while driving, and whenever extra power is needed, the petrol engine instantly becomes active to support the system. In other words, the car keeps moving without stopping or slowing down for charging. This makes the technology especially suitable for people who travel long distances or live in places where EV charging infrastructure is still limited. The second major concern with electric vehicles is battery degradation. Unlike the battery in a smartphone, an EV battery is extremely expensive. Replacing it can cost several lakh rupees. Over time, with every charging and discharging cycle, the battery gradually loses efficiency and performance. After about 2 or 3 years of use, many electric vehicles no longer perform the way they did when they were new. Over time, the battery gradually loses efficiency. In some cases, replacing the battery becomes so expensive that people start thinking it might be better to buy an entirely new car. Obviously, that is not the most practical solution. Honda's hyper-hybrid engine offers a smart way to deal with this problem. The system uses the battery very efficiently because it is designed with a dual-motor setup. One of the motors is dedicated mainly to charging the battery. Because of this, the battery never becomes overloaded. At the same time, the balance between the petrol engine and the electric motor is carefully managed. This prevents unnecessary strain on the battery, which helps extend its lifespan. The result is longer battery durability, lower maintenance costs, and better overall savings for the owner. Another issue with electric vehicles that many people do not fully understand is their performance in cold climates. Most EVs use lithium-ion batteries, and these batteries are known to perform poorly in extremely cold conditions. During winter, the driving range of an electric vehicle can drop by 30 to 40%. For example, if an EV can travel around 300 kilometers on a full charge during summer, the same vehicle might only manage about 180 to 200 kilometers in winter. This is one of the main reasons why people living in snowy or extremely cold regions often hesitate to switch to electric vehicles. Honda's hyper-hybrid system addresses this concern as well. When the temperature drops and battery performance decreases, the petrol engine automatically takes over most of the workload. This ensures that the vehicle continues running smoothly regardless of weather conditions. In simple terms, whether it's snowing, raining heavily, or extremely cold, the vehicle will continue to operate without any problem. That's why this hybrid system works reliably in every season. Now think about another situation. Imagine a small town or rural village where charging stations are not available. In such places, running an electric vehicle can be difficult. Honda's hyper-hybrid engine becomes very useful in this scenario because it combines the convenience of petrol with the smooth experience of electric driving. The battery keeps charging automatically while the car is running. Honda has also included regenerative braking in this system. Whenever the driver applies the brakes, the energy that would normally be wasted is captured and stored in the battery. This makes the charging process even more efficient and helps extend the vehicle's driving range without placing extra strain on the engine. One of the most impressive features of this hyper-hybrid system is its user-friendly design. The driver does not need to press any special buttons or switch between different modes. The car automatically decides when to use the petrol engine, when to rely on the electric motor, and when to recharge the battery. This intelligent automation gives it an advantage over many other hybrid systems. Today, the EV industry still faces several major challenges, including limited charging infrastructure, high battery replacement costs, and reduced performance during cold weather. Honda's hybrid technology offers a balanced solution by combining the advantages of electric vehicles with the reliability of a petrol engine. The best part is that drivers don't need to worry about plugging the car in, waiting for long charging times, or stressing about battery life. In many ways, Honda's system addresses the three biggest concerns associated with electric vehicles. Now let's move on to another important question that comes to every car buyer's mind: the cost. After all, owning a car is not just about technology, it's also about affordability. And this is where Honda's hyper-hybrid engine starts to stand out. Compared to the cost of purchasing many electric vehicles, this system is emerging as a more affordable and practical option. First, let's look at the price of electric vehicles. Today, buying a good EV can easily cost between 15 lakh rupees and 20 lakh rupees or even more. If you choose an EV from international brands like Tesla or BYD, the price can range from around $30,000 to $60,000 depending on the model. In comparison, hybrid vehicles in a similar category, such as the Honda Accord Hybrid or Honda Civic Hybrid, often come at a lower price than many EVs. This means you still get advanced technology and a comfortable driving experience, but at a more affordable cost. Another expense that people often overlook is the cost of setting up EV charging at home. Installing a charging point requires wiring, installation work, and additional electricity usage. The total setup cost can range from around 50,000 rupees to 1 lakh rupees. If you rely on public fast charging stations instead, you also have to pay a charging fee each time you use them. Honda's hyper-hybrid engine eliminates these concerns. The system does not need to be plugged in for charging. It consumes less petrol than traditional cars, and the battery charges automatically while the vehicle is running. This means there's no need to install a home charger and no need to search for public charging stations. Finally, let's talk about one of the biggest expenses associated with electric vehicles: battery replacement. EV batteries are extremely expensive. If the battery becomes damaged or its performance declines significantly, replacing it can cost anywhere from 4 lakh rupees to 7 lakh rupees. In some high-end electric vehicles, the replacement cost can even reach 10 lakh rupees. Just imagine, almost half the cost of the vehicle could be spent on replacing the battery alone. Electric vehicles will still play a major role in the future, but their widespread success will depend heavily on improvements in charging infrastructure and advancements in battery technology, such as solid-state batteries. Hydrogen-powered vehicles are also developing slowly, but their large-scale adoption is still limited because hydrogen fueling stations are not yet widely available. Honda clearly understands this future landscape. That's why the company has chosen a balanced strategy, offering reliable hybrid solutions today while continuing to invest in research for both electric and hydrogen technologies. Because of this approach, some experts predict that by the year 2030, hybrid vehicles could actually hold a larger share of the global market than fully electric vehicles. The EV race will certainly continue, but Honda has shifted the conversation in a slightly different direction, toward practicality, affordability, and solutions that work well in real-world conditions. Honda didn't make a lot of noise about this move, but the industry is now starting to recognize that this quiet step may become one of the most important turning points in the automotive world. That's all for today's video. See you again in the next one. But before you leave, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any updates about new technologies, major automotive developments, and exciting innovations in the car industry. Subscribe now and remember to turn on notifications so you're always the first to know when a new video is released.